Next in the Offbeat Reggae radio show, we look to music with roots in the island of Guam. Now, I've travelled a fair bit, but I still had to look that up, which I'm not very proud of, but kind of halfway between Japan and Australia, if you don't have a map in front of you. Anyway, reggae music is very much part of the island culture there, but the person that I will be talking to has musical roots with a slightly less chilled feel to it, which I'm sure we will get to. Talking to me from San Diego, where he now resides, I'd like to welcome to the show Peter Cruz, who also goes by the name Håle. Great to be able to talk to you. Hello, mate.
Hey, Andy. Yeah, it's so awesome to be here with you. Thanks for having me.
It's kind of a month in the making, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's been a busy schedule for me, so I'm glad that I can finally sit down and chat with you. So it's really nice.
Yeah, you've been unwell too. Are you feeling all right now? You're looking very perky.
I am feeling way better. Yeah.
Awesome.
I caught a batch of the bad stuff, so I'm glad I'm backing up.
Fabulous. Great to hear. Yeah. Right, let's move on then to the reason why you're here. I like to start the slot of offbeat intros by asking the artists about their history, how they got from where they were to the music that they're producing now. And I wondered if you could help us out with that.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, I grew up in Guam and I was playing music as a kid all the way up from 12 to where I'm at now. I started with classic rock and my dad turned me on to a bunch of AC/DC and Black Sabbath and like that. But in the islands, island music is just part of your DNA, so to speak. And so at the age of 17, I started a reggae band called Table for Five, and we covered a bunch of different artists, especially from Hawaii and New Zealand. And that's kind of what got me started, was my first reggae band, cover band, more or less. We didn't really do any originals. I left Guam at the age of 20, moved to San Diego, and pursued a career in aviation. I got my pilot license and was on track to go to the airlines, but I fell into a different career path, more of a passion project. A band by the name of Tribal Theory hired me on to play bass. For about 9 years, I played with Tribal Theory, who is a pretty substantial reggae band in Southern California. We did tours across the country, Guam, Hawaii, released a ton of albums with them, and I wrote pretty much all their most recent stuff. I did a lot of songwriting with them as well. But I did that for 9 years, and after 9 years of touring and recording, I decided it was time to really grow my songwriting desire as an individual solo artist. And so back a few years ago, I decided to break off and I released my first song. It's called Feel That, and it was produced by a close friend and big time producer, I would say, in the indie pop scene here in the United States. His name's Jesse Barrera. And he kind of helped me kick it off. And since then, the rest is history. I've just been recording music. I've been songwriting. I do a ton of session work with other artists here in Southern California. I do hired gun stuff. I just got back from a tour with a popular artist. You may know her. Her name's Ellie Mack from Hawaii. We did Cali Roots. And now I'm preparing for a little tour of my own. So that's where I'm at, and that's kind of my history.
Awesome. Yeah, you've covered pretty much everything. I've got a note here of some cool bands that you've shared stages with and played bass for. Maybe we can talk about them a little bit after we get on your first song. What have you got planned for us?
So let's jam. How about Just Cool? Just Cool sounds like a good song to play.
Cool. Yeah, my lady, just cool, yeah. Up in the morning, just hopping straight out to bed. She got my coffee with the sugar and the hazelnut cream and the cookie butter on my bread. Oh, she is a smooth little woman, just a cool operator. This ain't no eBay auction, I will never trade her. If you're looking for a one in a million, she's mine. A cool woman all the time, yeah. Yeah, my lady, just cool, yeah. Cool, my lady, just cool. Cool, yeah, my lady, just cool, yeah. Cool, woman, she cool all the time. Everywhere she goes, she give that sweet, sweet vibe. I said, cool woman, she cool all the time. In the winter feels like summer, make me feel so nice. Me say, cool woman in your city, in your town. If you are cool woman, let me see you come around. Said that cool woman in your city, in your town. Listen up to Holly song. Cool, yeah, my lady, just cool. Yeah, my lady, just cool. Yeah, cool, my lady, just cool.
Oh, she's so cool. Yeah.
Cool, yeah, my lady, just cool. Yeah, my lady, just cool. Yeah, cool, my lady, just cool.
Just Cool from the artist Håle and features Josh Heinrichs, is that right?
That's right, my boy Josh.
Yeah, of Jar Roots. How did that collaboration come about?
It's funny, actually, because my first cover reggae band back in high school, we used to cover his music. And the original drummer for that band, his name's Freddie. He plays for a reggae band here in the United States called 4-Piece Band. And they've done a lot of touring. They're a roots band. He called me one day and he said, hey man, Josh Heinrichs is calling me to play bass for him. We're doing a little Florida run. I'm sorry, Freddie was playing drums and we need a bass player. I immediately dropped everything and I took the opportunity. So I met Josh through my good friend Freddie, who plays for 4-Piece Band. Always been a fan of Josh, and after the tour we kind of got really pretty close, I could say we were homies. And after the tour I hit up Josh and I said, hey, I'm working on some new songs, I'm working on some EPs, and it was almost immediate, like no question. I sent Josh a song. In about a few days to a week, he sent me back his vocals. I mixed it in, sent it off to mastering, and the rest is history. Yeah, Josh is such an amazing artist and so flawless in his recording abilities, and I'm just so blessed to have him on my new song. He's a really, really cool guy.
Yeah, it works really, really well. We like it very much. I say we, there's me and Reggae Dog, and he likes it very much too.
Reggae Dog.
Yep.
Yes.
Now, from your previous musical days, maybe within Tribal Theory or before, do you have any standout moments that you'd like to share with us? I've noted that you've shared the stage with some very cool bands and played some bass for some very cool people too. So does anything jump to mind that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, we did a lot of cool stuff. I think one of my most memorable moments was selling out our House of Blues back-to-back. That was really cool. And we've played with pretty big acts like the Expendables and J-Boog, Fiji, who's like the king of like island reggae, Sons of Zion from New Zealand that we've played with in Hawaii. I think my most notable experience had to be selling out House of Blues twice in a row. I've always gone to House of Blues and watch, it's kind of like a staple here in the United States, going to a House of Blues and watching a band. It just feels like the ultimate concert experience, and to deliver that to people who were there singing the songs that we wrote was just it was surreal. So that had to be my most favorite moment. I think about that all the time, and I don't regret whatever we did to get up to that point. And where I'm at now, it's kind of what shaped and molded me to where I'm at now. Those kind of moments were really crucial in my career as a reggae artist.
Yeah, I bet. It must have been incredibly cool. Let's talk about your newest release. Now, I was supposed to be doing this like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then I would have had like an exclusive, but life got in the way. But it is still your current one. So if you can, tell us about the song and maybe lead us into it.
Yeah. Well, my newest release is titled Return. And Return is about imperialism and the diaspora of our people. With imperialism and all that, we lose sight of our true roots and our true culture. And with that is the definition of diaspora, trying to find your way in your own way, or finding your roots in your own way. And that's kind of what I was trying to get across in the song. Is it's important to understand that no matter where you're at, your roots are always going to be there, and you can always return to your roots and embrace it. And it's okay. And I think the thing is, like with a lot of my indigenous people from Guam and, the Mariana Islands, were called Chamorros. A lot of the Chamorros lose sight of their culture by being disconnected from their roots. And my purpose of this song was to bring to light, no matter where you're at, your roots are there and you can always return. And as long as you're embracing your culture, that's what I think our ancestors are proud of, in a sense. And so Release is available everywhere now. You can listen to it on Spotify and all streaming outlets. It's one of 2 new songs that I released in the last few months, and it's going to be 1 or 2 songs that are coming up on an album that I'm really excited about too.
Nice one. Let's get it on, check it out, see what we think. Håle and the song Return.
Return to your roots. Let me tell you about this one man, him who lived down by the sea. He fish and grow his crops to feed his humble family. But then one day, this thief comes in the shadows of the night. I offer gold and silver, all the treasures, a new life. With one condition you must pick up. Leave all this behind. In his mind this is a stick up. Come to rip the roots from the ground, to displace in a new town. Generation to generation, our people's relocation. To your roots, in a rootsman style. Don't be confused with this roots and culture. Why oh, return to your roots in a rootsman style. Don't be confused with this roots and culture. Why oh, many years have come and gone now for this man, left with a new image, construct of his culture and his land. But deep down does he know? Oh yes, he knows. Your culture never left you. Search deep in your soul, like the roots that penetrate the ground, forever grow. And there you'll find them left intact, forever longing to go back. Oh no, it's a case of struggle, mental self-destruction, to be disconnected from your roots, imperialization. But I say, with a mindfulness and meditation, return to your roots. Whoa, speaking to the people of our nation, feel it in your soul, gonna feel this vibration. Roots and culture is your foundation, gonna spread it on to the next generation. Say it, speaking to the people of our nation, feel it in your soul, gonna feel this vibration. Roots and culture is your foundation, dedicated to the next generation. To your roots in a rootsman style. Yes, returning in a rootsman. Don't style confused with this roots and culture. Why oh, return to your roots in a rootsman style. Yes, returning in a rootsman. Don't style confused with this roots and culture. Why oh,
So it's the current release from Håle and called Return on the Offbeat Reggae Radio Show. I'm Andy, still talking to Peter, or Håle, depending on how you know him, I guess. I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but I don't know, so I'm going to ask. The way that Håle is spelt is a little bit different. Is that to do with the way that it's spelt within Guam, or like I made an assumption there, am I correct?
Yeah. Well,
okay, great.
yeah, you're right. You're right. That is absolutely right. I think if you were to pronounce it without the accent in Chamorro, it would be Håle. But Chamorro is kind of a very sharp and like dramatic language. So the A almost becomes a, and the E with we call it a glota, becomes very hard, like stop. So it's Håle. I know it's kind of like a different way to pronounce a word, because it's very, it's very harsh. I like to call it a little bit of a harsh language, but yeah. So Håle is fine, but if you want to get down to the nitty gritty, it's huh, like almost a U, and like lit, like Håle.
Håle. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I must admit, you might have slightly knackered yourself with search engines, because it wasn't that easy to actually find you.
Yeah, it's hard. But you know what I do is I try. You're absolutely right with the whole like SEO realm, I try to make it easy for everybody. So when it comes down to search engines, I'm trying to figure out everything else to make it easy, because sometimes I can't even find myself.
Bit of a nightmare. Anyway, it's the part of the interview now where we look towards the influences or bands that you would like to share. I like this part of the show because it often introduces me to bands or artists that I personally haven't discovered yet. I like to think that those listening may be there with a pen, kind of noting them down as you list them off, and then they can check them out in their own time after the show, obviously. But one of your choices I have handpicked, which is the Bach Keys. If you could, though, maybe take us through all of your choices and tell us why they're worth a listen, and then we'll go into the Bach Keys track afterwards.
Yeah, so some of the artists that I would like to share the stage with, which kind of came through fruition actually right after we first decided to do this podcast with you. Jason J is one of I'm a big fan of him. He's also from Guam. He's a big artist out here in Southern California. He's toured with Hyrie, tons of other acts, Tomorrow's Bad Seeds. And he just got off a nationwide show called American Song Contest. And now he's going on tour, and he asked me to play guitar. So that came to fruition, and that's so awesome. He's definitely a big inspiration to me as an artist. Also, John Dang Show, they're a rock reggae band from the island of Guam as well. And because I myself will be doing some shows soon, and I'm playing with Jason soon, we're all actually going to be on the same card, which is going to be really cool. And that leads me to a very big influence in my life. And he goes by the name of Bach Keys. And he is a pianist who is also a reggae producer here in Southern California. And he's also my musical director. So he does a lot of my set, he creates my sets. We do things hand in hand, and we plan out the rehearsals and how our live set's gonna be. He's working on a ton of music. I also do a lot of session guitar work for him. And he's going on tour with me as well. He's going to be playing keys for me, not only musical directing, but playing keys. And the music that he creates, his dad was a legendary Chamorro artist. And anybody that grew up listening to Chamorro music knows his dad. It's a household name. And he's perpetuating that, his father's legacy. And I'm just kind of blessed to have him a part of my team. But I think his music is amazing in general. So if you guys want to check him out, Bach Keys, tons of great stuff on Spotify.
This is definitely one of those moments where I press play and then hold my breath and just hope that they're not singing about something horrendous. Because I I love the tune. Can't understand a word of what he's talking about though.
Yeah. Chamorro is it's hard language to catch on to, but I think it's nice because even though you don't know what they're saying, it feels beautiful in a sense.
gitaduha Tetsuguma mamagasizen malaksi ay guamon Parehumu sa bonita Olamon, 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 olamon Sa guao chuman guaizan guahu Mangiman na rin yung gitaduha Tetsuguma mamagasizen malaksi ay guamon Parehumu Ay manuzu waktu na bafanyota Parehumu na palawan sa bonita Olamon, 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 olamon Sa guao chuman guaizan guahu Mangiman na rin yung gitaduha Tetsuguma mamagasizen malaksi ay guamon Parehumu ay guamon Parehumu
It is the influence track Bok Keys and Ola Mahon. I hope I've said that correctly. I've just been, while that was on, it's been confirmed that apparently in that language they don't swear. At all, at least in song, which is lovely to hear. Cool, right? We're coming to the end of the interview now, so just the opportunity to let people know that if they want to find out more about you, they can go to listen to Håle.com. That's HALE without all of the additional accents and marks and such, which you can't do when you type in the address anyway. So all good. Listen to Håle.com. As a featured artist of the show, I'm going to whack you up on the Offbeat Reggae Radio website as well. You'll have your own page. If you can send me that updated bio, that would be amazing, and I can add it to that as well. And we'll show up some tunes, more songs for people to listen to, and maybe some videos as well. I'll grab a couple of those and put them on the page.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just before we pop off, is there anything else that you'd like to mention? I understand you're off to Guam again.
Yeah. Got some shows coming up. So if you're listening to this and you're in any part of that world, please come out. We leave next week and we're going to Saipan first. We play in Saipan on June 24th. It's called Beyond the Reef Music Festival. Again, playing with Jason J. The John Dank Show will be there. We also have artists like Mike Pinto. Pacifier is coming out to play as well. These are stateside bands here. And myself, I'll have a set as well on this tour. So it'll be Saipan June 24th and Guam on July 2nd. And then I'll be back in California. We're doing a Chamorro. It's called the Chinchuli Festival in Livermore, California. That's in the Bay Area on the 16th. And then July 23rd, be playing in Seattle. So yeah, we got a busy month ahead of us. We just got to stay healthy, and we're jamming out for the people out there that want to listen to some good island tunes.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. I hope you've picked up a couple of fans as we've been chatting and playing some of your tunes. And I hope that the gigs go well for you.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks for having me on your show here, and I really appreciate it. It's nice to connect Guam to the United States all the way to the UK. Reggae music is an amazing thing, and I love how it unifies us. It's such an awesome thing.